last week as I was thinking about the future of my kids, and this church, and this nation, with all the challenges that we are facing. I was a little discouraged. The next day, as I read Acts chapter 23, God reminded me that He is still in control and He is not surprised by any of these challenges. Let's look at Acts chapter 23 and verse 11 for a quick second. Let's just look at the very first part. That night the Lord appeared to Paul and said, "Be encouraged, Paul." Why? Jesus told Paul to be encouraged. Now, Paul came to Jerusalem right after his third missionary journey. While he was at the temple to complete a vow he had made, a group of men accused him, started a riot, and almost killed him. The Romans authorities heard about the commotions that was happening at the temple. They came and rescued Paul from the hands of his accusers and took Paul to jail. During one of the nights while Paul was in jail, he probably was having a rough time with fear and worry about what would happen to him next. It was during that time Jesus came and stood by him. Paul had been in jail before and was rescued or delivered miraculously, but not this time. He was not delivered from his situation, but Christ came and met him right where he was. Luke tells us that Jesus came to comfort Paul by telling Paul to be encouraged. These words tells us that the night was not very encouraging for Paul. And these words were the right words that he needed to hear that night. Paul knew that his situation was bad, but he did not know to what extent. He did not know that the very next day, 40 Jewish assassins would vow not to eat until they killed him. But Jesus knew exactly what would take place. And he told Paul to be encouraged. I don't know what you are dealing with right now. I do not know how bad is your situation. But what I do know is Jesus knows the extent of your situation. And he is telling you to be encouraged. Not because everything is fine, but because God is still in control. God is a good God. God is great. God is awesome. God is faithful. And he will be with you in whatever situation you are facing. As you go through your day today and the rest of your week, just remember, be encouraged.